wearing a suit, but it's a Saturday and I really didn't want to. And that is because I've been struggling a little with corporate America lately. Mostly because in corporate America, there are a lot of rules that you have to follow. And I've always been kind of a rule breaker. So I've struggled with these rules recently. But it's interesting, because while I've been struggling, there are people who wake up every morning with the satisfaction of knowing that they are doing something they really love. They went to college, and in their heart of hearts, they knew what they wanted to do. And when people asked them, they confidently replied, I want to be a doctor or an architect. And then they went to school, and they took all the right courses, and they graduated, and they became a doctor or an architect. And for all intents and purposes, these people are pretty happy. Some of these people have also been lucky in love. They found their perfect match, their partner in crime. One of them, a boy that I actually know, found his soulmate in the 7th grade, started dating, got married when they were 25, had kids, and for all intents and purposes, he seems pretty happy. This speech is not for those people. This speech is for the rest of us. For some of us, our lives haven't been as clearly plotted and planned. Our paths haven't been as clear, and we are struggling to find our way. This speech is for us. And this struggle is not easy. It makes us feel lonely, doubtful, insecure, uncertain if we're ever going to make it. And so the message I want to give to you this morning, as recent graduates, as current students, as people who have more experience in life, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, you're going to be okay. How often do you meet someone and the first thing they ask you is, so what do you do? Right? Anybody? That's like the New York question. What do you do? You know, you could just meet them on the subway. You're sitting there next to them, you know, reading a book about something. What do you do? I hate this question. I hate this question. I hate it because it forces us to define ourselves by our jobs. And I think so many of us are so much more than that. So I like to answer, sometimes I do yoga. Sometimes I eat at Chipotle. And then if they keep pushing, I say, sometimes I go somewhere and they give me money and I pay my rent with it. I prefer to ask the question, what do you like to do? Because quite frankly, I find it more fascinating that you collect meatball recipes, or that you play baseball on the weekends, or that you have a stamp collection. To me, that is a better definition of who you are. So your job at 24 or 26 or 42 or 68 is not a clear and accurate description of who you are. It's not a measure of how honest you are, or kind, or loving, or what kind of friend you are. And it's certainly not a clear picture of how successful you are going to be. As for love, I had a friend who called me the other day, and she says, are we ever going to get it together? Because her and I are perpetually the single friends. And if anybody else in here can relate to that, we're the friends at the wedding. They're like, do they get a +1? I don't know. We're those friends. So she calls me and she says, are we ever going to get it together? Are we ever going to find somebody? And I turned and looked at my fridge at the 6 save the dates from my friends that I couldn't be happier for, and I really thought about her question. Are we going to get it together? Or are we going to be the single friends? The cat ladies? The blind date savants? Are we going to be destined to be alone? I really thought about her question, and then I realized that I was on the phone with somebody who was smart, funny, talented, beautiful, loving, kind. And I thought of all the single people that I know, and maybe some of you in this room are those people who are genuinely good catches. People who are not smelly or weird, but are genuinely good catches, but are also single. I thought of those people and I said to her, "Girl, we gonna be just fine." So, the message today. For those of you out there searching for your perfect job, or your perfect mate, or maybe you've already found that. Congratulations, I am genuinely happy for you. Maybe you're still searching for the perfect financial situation, or the perfect body, or the perfect Saturday activity routine, or the perfect omelet recipe. I want to remind you that life is rarely perfect. But more importantly, I want to reassure you, if you need it in this moment, that you're going to be okay.